Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 11. اقرأ المثالين ثم أكمل الجمل الآتية بوضع غال أو غالية في الأماكن الخالية. Now we have to read the two examples. اقرأ المثالين ثم أكمل, then complete. أكمل الجمل الآتية, the following sentences. بوضع, by putting. وضع يضع, وضع, that means to put. غال أو غالية في الأماكن الخالية, the noun غال or غالية in the blanks. Now you might be thinking, or you can see over here, here we have غال and here we have غالية. So I have a question. What's the i'rab or status of غال and what's the status of غالية in these two nouns? Any idea? Now, if you look at غال, you might be thinking that غال is majroor, right? Because we know dhammatan, fathatan, and kasratan. So when we have dhammatan, that is marfu', and when we have fathatan, it is mansub, and when we have kasratan, it is majroor. Okay, so now this is a special kind of noun that is called ismul manqus, a defective noun. And this noun is very special. Why? Because when it is marfu and when it is majroor, it will end with kasratan. So when it is marfu and when it is majroor, then the case ending will be kasratan. Now look at the examples. هذا القلم غال أصله غالي. So هذا القلم will be subject, and we know that subject is marfu, and غال is predicate, and we know that khabar or predicate is also marfu. Now both of them are marfu. هذا القلم is easy to figure out that it is marfu because it ends with dhamma. So that's fine. But غال ends with kasratan. So how is it marfu? Now, just to know this, how it is marfu, first of all, we need to know that the original form is ghaliyun. What is the original form? Original form, ghaliyun. It is basically on the pattern of fa'ilun. Any noun that comes on the pattern of fa'ilun, that means it is the doer of the action, or ismul fa'il. For example, abidun, majidun, sajidun. So any noun that comes on the pattern of fa'ilun, that means it is doer. So here it is also on the pattern of fa'ilun, ghaliyun, but some changes have to take place. What are the changes? Dhamma is heavy on ya. When we talk about ya, not ya al-mutakallim, when we talk about ya, when it is the part of the root letter, then what happens? Dhamma is heavy on ya. Why? Because we know that ya is the sister of kasra. In Arabic, ya is considered as, kasra is considered as the sister of ya. Similarly, fatha is considered as the sister of alif, and dhamma is considered as the sister of waw. As we know that we have like bu, and then we have ba, and then we have b. As we know that there are three long vowels, and waw is compatible with dhamma, alif is compatible with fatha, and ya is compatible with kasra. So ya doesn't really like to have dhamma on it. So what happens? When we have to remove dhamma. So when dhamma is removed, it takes away ya. So what happens when dhamma is removed? Ya is also removed. So two changes will take place. Dhamma is removed because it's heavy on ya. And ya is removed. Why ya is removed? Let's see over here. It is removed and it is replaced with kasratan. So basically, ya has been removed with kasratan, which is called compensatory tanween, or in Arabic we call it al-tanweenu al-iwadu, compensatory tanween. So basically, ghaliyun has changed into ghalin. I've tried my level best to explain it. However, if you find it difficult, no problem. Just wait for the verbs when we start. And inshallah, when we proceed into this book, when we start learning the verbs, you will inshallah get a very clear idea. Now this ya comes back in some certain conditions. It has to come back. When does it come back? Ya returns in the following cases when ta marbuta is connected to it. So when ta marbuta is connected to it, then ya comes back. The original noun is ghalin. And when you want to say something that is the feminine of this, so it will be ghaliyatun, ghalin, ghaliyatun. Similarly, if you say hadin, hadiyatun. Similarly, if you say wadin, it will be wadiyatun. So any noun that is manqus or defective noun, when ta marbuta is added to that, then ya comes back. So you remember the ya that was dropped from here when ta marbuta was added to it, it came back. So this is the first condition when ya comes back. The second condition is when the noun is mansub or when it is used as mudaf. These two conditions we know already. So when the noun is mansub or it is used as mudaf, then the ya comes back. And the next condition is when al is added to that, and then also ya comes back. And in this lesson, our focus is only to see that when ya comes back is only the case when ta marbuta is added to that. You might be thinking like it might be some extra information, but that's how we learn. First of all, you have to have some idea about something. Now your only responsibility is to try to figure out this idea. How to implement it? Inshallah, we will implement it when we proceed further into the course. Now we have to provide the answers. So you want to say al-kutubul arabiyatu. So what should we use over here? Ghalin or ghaliyatun fi baladina. What should we use? Yes, please tell me quickly. Al-kutubul arabiyatu ghalin or ghaliyatun fi baladina. What will be the answer? The answer will be ghaliyatun. Why ghaliyatun? Because we know that al-kutub is ghayru aqil. The plural of ghayru aqil is considered a singular feminine. That's why we will say ghaliyatun. هذا الكتاب رخيص وذاك. This book is cheap and that is expensive. What should we use here? Ghalin or ghaliyatun? Ghalin, excellent. So because kitab, as we know, it's masculine, so that's why this is a subject and the predicate is also masculine. هذا المعجم بمئة ريال. This dictionary is 100 riyals. هو, what should we use? غال أو غالية. هو غال, excellent. It is expensive. هذه الحقيبة, this bag. Now you want to say this bag is expensive. So how will we say? هذه الحقيبة غالية. Excellent. أحسنتم. Yes, هذه الحقيبة غالية. This bag is expensive. Question number 12. اقرأ المثالين. Read two examples. ثم اقرأ الجمل الآتية. Then read the following sentences. بعد ذلك اكتبها مع كتابة الأعداد الواردة فيها بالحروف. بعد ذلك, after that, اكتبها, write it, and ha refers to the jumal sentences. مع كتابة الأعداد, by writing the numbers or the adad. الواردة, the following. So أعداد will be موصوف, الواردة will be صفة. فيها, in it, بالحروف, with the letters. So now we have to change, or we have to write the numbers into letters, the Arabic letters, I mean. So miyatu rajulin wa miyatu imratin. Now we have to learn two numbers. We have to learn 100 and 1000. What is so special about these two numbers? Number one, these numbers are always used as mudaf. Always used as mudaf. That's number one. And this is called adad, and ma'dud is always mudaf ilayh. That's number one. Ma'dud is always mudaf ilayh. That's number one. And number two, ma'dud is always mufrad. Yani ma'dud is always single. Yani mufrad, always single. So whether it is masculine or feminine doesn't matter. The ma'dud, or the thing that is being counted, that has to be singular. So miyatu rajulin, miyatum ra'atin, 100 women, 100 men and 100 women. In English, of course, we will say men and women, but in Arabic, the noun has to be singular. And the same goes to 1000. Alfu rajulin wa alfum ra'atin. So we know that the hamza of imra is hamzatul wasl. So when we read it, we connect it. So we will say alfum ra'atin, which sounds a little bit, like awkward, but We can say alfu imratin min ghairi al-Quran min duni al-Quran. If it's regular Arabic, it's okay to say alfu imratin. However, of course, in the Quran, then we have to connect it. Like وَامْرَأَتُهُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. In the Quran, we have to connect it. Alfu imratin, 1,000 women. So the two numbers, they take the noun as ma'dud, as singular noun. Okay, هذا التلفاز be 1,000 riyal. So you want to say this television is 1,000 riyals. So how will we say هذا التلفاز بألف ريال, right? بألف ريال. This TV is 1,000 riyals. عندي $1,000. So how will we say عندي ألف دولار, right? عندي ألف دولار. And we know that عندي is ظرف plus مضاف إليه, so it is خبر, and ألف دولار is subject or مبتدأ. So we have the wrong answer over here. Next is في هذا الكتاب 100 صفحة. So how will we say في هذا الكتاب 100 صفحة? Excellent. We will say, so there is another mistake over here. في هذا الكتاب it will be 100 صفحة. بكم هذه الحقيبة هي? How much is this bag? So now you want to say it's 1,000 riyals. So we will say here, sorry, Mia. So here bimiyati riyalin. It's 100 riyals. All right. So finally we get the correct answer over here. Next is في هذه الكلية 100 طالب من باكستان و100 طالب من Indonesia. So now you want to say in this college there are 100 students from Pakistan and 100 students from Indonesia. So how will we say في هذه الكلية 100 طالب من باكستان و100 طالب من Indonesia. One more thing we need to know about Mia. This alif is called alif az-za'idah. This alif is extra alif. It is written because it's the Arabic language. It's written over here, but it is not pronounced. So in some, or if you talk about the mushaf, that is basically Indo-Pak mushaf. So miyatun or miyatu will be written like this. So there are two possibilities. It is written with alif and it is also written without alif. So it can be like this miyatu and it can be like this as well. Two possibilities are there. Like in ulaika, waw is zaida. In ulaika, waw is not pronounced. So we know that, right? So similarly, in miyatu, alif is zaida. There are like some words in Arabic language where there is an extra letter, and that's for a reason. Silent letters, yes. Kawin, make, jumalan, sentence, mustamilan, by using al-kalimat al-atiyati, the following words. So use each of the following words in a sentence. So we have the first one, dhakiyun, that means intelligent. Miyatun, 100. Mutazawwijun, married. Azabun, single or unmarried. Khuluqun, someone who possesses good manners, well-mannered. Dularun, dollars, and ghalin, expensive. Now it's up to you to just write down as many sentences as you can. For example, you want to say, I am intelligent, so you will say ana dhakiyun, and if you are a feminine, you will say ana dhakiyatun. And similarly, indi miyatu dularin, and if you are married, you can say ana mutazawwijun, and if you are not married, you will say ana azabun. And similarly, if you want to use khuluqun, so you can say ana dhu khuluqin, and indi miyatu dularin wa hadha al-kitabu ghalin. I have the answers here as well, so it's up to you. You can write down the answers that we have over here. For example, Bilalun talibun dhakiyun. Bilal is an intelligent student. هذا الكتاب بمئة ريال. This book is 100 riyals. متزوج أنت أم أعزب, right? Are you married? So this is incomplete sentence. متزوج أنت, or just as we can say this is just a simple question. أنا عزب, I am unmarried or I am single. Ibrahimu ذو خلق, Ibrahim possesses good manners. كم دولار, right? كم دولار, why? عندك الآن, how many dollars do you have now? Because after come the noun must be singular, mansub, and nakira. هذا القلم غال. This book or this pen is expensive. هذا القلم غال. This pen is expensive. Now let's have a look at some of the examples of the ideas that we have learned in the beginning of the lesson from the Quran. And if you remember, I told you in the beginning of these lessons that if you can remember one example of one rule that you're learning from the Quran, that will be really helpful. So for inna, we have this example, inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Indeed, Allah is all forgiving and merciful. So here we can see that after inna, the noun is mansub and it is called ismu inna, and khabar is called khabaru inna, and ghafurun and rahimun. These are the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ. Surah Al-Kahf. I don't remember the verse number. So فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ. So here we have the example of لَعَلَّكَ. And we know that ka is the attached pronoun, and whenever the attached pronoun comes with inna wa akhawatuha, it will be the ism of that noun. So we have la'allaka, so ka will be ismu la'alla, and bakhiyan will be khabaru la'alla in the rest of the sentence. Perhaps you, so if you remember, I told you that, excuse me, that in the Quran, la'allaka is translated as perhaps, but it can give the meaning of fear or hope, at-taraji wal-ishfaq in everyday life. But when we talk about the Quran, then it is translated as perhaps or so that. Then we have فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ مِيَةَ عَامٍ. Now we can see the example of 100 years, and now we can see that sixth ayah of Surah Kahf. Muhammad, thank you very much. Barakallahu fiki. So this is verse number 6 of Surah Kahf. Okay. So we have over here فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ مِيَةَ عَامٍ. So we can see over here that miyata is used as mudaf and amin is mudaf ilayh, and it is singular and it is majroor. So Allah caused him to die for 100 years. Then we have the example of alf, laylatul qadri khayrum min alfi shahr. Now we can see here that after alf, we can see the noun is singular and it is majroor. So one example of miyah, one example of alf, and then one example of la'allaka, and one example of inna. Of course, there are many examples of these in the Quran, but if we can remember initially one example, inshallah, will be enough for us. The night of decree is better than 1,000 months. So here we have miyata amin, and here we have alfi shahr. And we know that mudaf, the ending of mudaf will change. It can be marfu, mansub, or majroor. But mudaf ilayh is always majroor. For example, here miyata is used as, since it's time, it's dharf. So dharf is used as mansub. That's we can remember it easily. And also we can say that this is al-maf'ul al-thani. فَأَمَاتَهُ. So who is al-maf'ul al-awwal, and miyata amin is al-maf'ul al-thani, because amata yumitu imatatan requires two objects. It requires two objects, and lafz al-jalala is the subject, and amata is the verb, and who is the first object, and miyata amin is the second object. Also, if you take it as a dharf, as a time, adverb of time, and we know that adverb of time is also mansub. And here alfi is majroor because of min, harf jar min, and we know that mudaf can be marfu, mansub, or majroor, but mudaf ilayh is always majroor. Examples of dhu from the Quran. So we have more examples. Wallahu dhul fadlil azim. Allah is the possessor of great bounty. So we know that dhu is translated as possessor or having. Similarly, we have وَرَبُّكَ الْغَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ. Again, we have and thy Lord or your Lord is the forgiver, honor of mercy. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ. So here it is marfu because it is khabar, and here it is also marfu because it is khabar. كذبت قبلهم قوم نوح وعاد وفرعون ذو الأوتاد. Here it is you being used for Fir'aun and the honor of the stakes. The people of Nuh denied alayhi salam before them, and the tribe of Ad and Pharaoh the honor of stakes. So here it's being used um, for Fir'aun. So Fir'aun is marfu, so dhu is also marfu. فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام. So here we have dhatu, as we know that dhatu is a feminine of dhu, and it is being used as a sifa of nakhlu. Nakhlu is mawsuf, dhatu is sifa. Or we can simply say fiha fakihatun wan nakhlu. Yeah, so mawsuf and sifa. So therein is fruit and palm trees having sheets of dates. وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. So again, we have dhu over here, ikram. So, and there will remain the face of your Lord, honor of majesty and majesty and honor. So here, dhu is being used, yabqa wajhu rabbika. So here it's used as a sifa of wajhu rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram. That's why it is marfu. Sayasla naran dhata lahab. And here it's being used for lahab. So here that is feminine. Why it's feminine? Any ideas? Yes, anyone? Why dhata is used here as feminine? Why not dhu? Because it's being used as the sifa of nar. Yes, nar is feminine and nar is mansub, and dhata is also mansub. Sayasla naran dhata lahab. Excellent. Because as we know that dhu can be used as, it is used as mudaf mudafila, and also it can be used as sifa. So it's being used as a sifa of nar, and we know nar in Arabic is feminine. The vocab, you already have it, so it's always important to memorize and learn the vocab. Very, very important. So we have learned dhu, the possessor or to possess, and the plural of dhu is dhawu. Dhatu is the feminine of dhu, and the plural of dhatu is dhawatu. Khuluqun, manner, and the plural of khuluqun is akhlaqun. Then we have that is used to ask a question, interrogative question, and aw is used in the sentences that are non-interrogative. Do you remember example of from the Quran I gave you? أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ. Right? So we have many examples of in the Quran. So if you remember one example from the Quran, and the example I think of aw that I gave you was خُذْ هَذَا أَوْ ذَاكَ, take this or take that. Expensive means ghalin. Then we have mutazawwijun, married, and mutazawwijatun, married for masculine, and this is for feminine, ta marbuta, as we know. Nasraniyun, Christian, and the plural of Nasraniyun is Nasara, Christians. Yehudiyun, Jew, and the plural of Yehudiyun is Yahudun. So it's very important for us to memorize the plural as well. Azabun, unmarried, and the plural is Azabun. Then we have Waraqun, and we know the plural of Waraqun is Awraqun. Ghaliyatun, expensive, it's used for the feminine. Ghalin is used for the masculine. Rakhisun is the opposite of ghaliyatun, cheap, and rakhisatun is the feminine of rakhisun. Miyatun, 100, alfun, 1,000, and we know that miyatun and alfun are always used as mudaf. So whenever they are used, they will be light without tanween, yani miyatu and alfu, or miyata or alfa, or miyati or alfi. Rubiyatun, the rupee, the currency that's used in Pakistan and India, I believe. Rupees is the plural, rubiyatun. Dhakiyun, intelligent, and the plural is dhakiyatun. Then we have the plural of dhakiyun and dhakiyatun. The plural of both of them is adhkiya'u. Adhkiya'u does not have tanween. Why is that? Because it's a diptote. Why is it diptote? Because it's on the pattern of af'ila'u. Excellent. Musattarun, lined, musattarun. Kummun is used for the sleeve, and the plural of kummun is akmamun, sleeves. Manaratun, minaret. And now we have here three, we have three nouns that are asma'ul manqusa, or we can say defective nouns. Muhamin, qadin, wadin. So what will be the feminine form of muhamin? It will be muhamiyatun, right? So when we say feminine, the ya will come back. Muhamiyatun. Lawyer, then we have qadin, judge, and the feminine of qadin will be qadiyatun. We have radin, and the feminine of radin is radiyatun. Then we have wadin, and the feminine of wadin will be ahsanti ya ukhtah, wadiyatun. Okay. Then we have mu'jamun, dictionary, and the plural is ma'ajimu, also mamnu min as-sarf, on the pattern of mafa'ilu, and faqat means only. Alhamdulillah, we have completed our lesson number 1, bi'aunillahi ta'ala, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And inshallah, when we meet again, we will start lesson number 2. Barakallahu feekum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.